What is your normal? What do you consider to be normal for you? Oh, that's normal. That's just who I am. Oh, I just have this feeling. That's just who I am. Oh, I just get a little mucusy when I have dairy. That's just who I am. When you look at your normal or your normalities, do you like them? Or are you just comfortable in them? And what I mean is this something that has been happening for years? Like, oh, I just get a bellyache, whenever I eat certain things. Or have you even noticed that certain things happen when you engage in certain occasions, certain activities? And when you observe it, do you like the result? Now, for instance, I know that I have an intolerance to dairy, certain dairy products, not all of them. And I shared this with my mother in law because my son read positive for allergies for dairy. And so I found that goat milk is acceptable for human consumption because it has the same or mimics the same protein as human breast milk. And so in that, we're able to digest it a little bit better without enzymes. And so I shared this with her, and eventually she gave up cow dairy. And she no longer had these stomach aches that she had been having for over a decade. That's what I mean. And she's able to enjoy all the things that life can give her because we have alternative milk now, and she can make her own if she decides to do that. Now, I want you to also think about your daily routine. Are you a woman who is often saying, I don't have enough time to do this? I feel overwhelmed by life. My house is never clean. Everything is dirty. I have everything on my plate. I cannot get organized. Is that normal for you? And when I ask you if that's normal, I want you to think back to when you were younger, possibly a child. And how did your notes look? Were they organized? Did you highlight the things and make your notes look really, really nice for school so that you could stay organized? Did you have a planner? Did you have small little things for your lip gloss inside of your purse and whatnot? And if you did, have you stopped doing that recently? A lot of changes in our lives and roles that we take on, such as wife and mother and daughter in law, and all these things change us. And sometimes we put ourselves on the back burner. Like, for instance, when we were in school, it was about us, it wasn't about anyone else. All we had to do was get our grades correct and, respect our parents. That was it. There were no other people for us to answer to or answer for or be responsible for, such as our children. And now that we have taken on the roles of wife, of mother, of all these other things, now we sometimes forget the parts of us that made us us and the parts of us that were our normal. It's kind of like the initiation process of becoming a wife, the initiation process of becoming a mother kind of disorganizes us, disembodies us. And when I say that, when we are pregnant, we are not necessarily recognizing our bodies as our own because we're sharing it with someone else. And when we are feeding children from our breasts, it's not a just me situation. It's more so it's an us situation. And so we're no longer embodied, inhabiting our bodies for us, for ourselves. We're doing it for us, for me and the person that I have birthed. And this can be disorganizing because that initiation process puts us under a psychological and sometimes a physical stress that we're no longer able to recognize who we are, especially in Western society where we do not have the initiations of coming back home into ourselves. And so I want to invite you to take a look at the things that you used to do when you were younger that you are no longer doing. And that may be causing you to feel like my life is disorganized. I don't have a handle on the house. I don't have a handle on my children. I don't have a handle on my home, on my marriage. I want you to take a look at that and sit with that. Soften into that. When we soften into the invitation of looking at things, it is looking at it from the outside in. You're not looking at it as I used to do this and now I don't. How could I do that to myself? How could I, blaming and judging. Look at yourself softly. Like, how would you look at someone that you love or your daughter or your son and try to guide them back into themselves, back into loving themselves enough to know that you deserve to have what you want. And if what you want is an organized home, even if you've never been organized, you didn't do the notes and the highlighting and all that. Like if you've always been disorganized and you say, hey, I want to be organized, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and find a way to organize your life. Now, I have a quick story. I remember when I was in grade school, I hated PE. I hated PE. And I had a teacher, I think I was like going to 8th grade or something. I had a teacher, she was the PE teacher, and she was like, you are going to fail PE in high school. You're going to fail it because you don't want to do anything. And I didn't. When I was in college, I said, you know what? I want to learn how to run. I want to start running. And I did. And I would run 3 miles a day up to 7 miles. And I was the running girl in Tuskegee for my time because I would run around the city. I was not running track. I was running for fun, for health, for fitness. And it really just takes that quick of deciding, I want to be this. I want to do this. I want this, and going forth and being that. If you want to be organized, be organized. Okay, I'm going to get a planner. I'm going to start writing all the things down and not necessarily feeling a void of, I want to feel like I'm organizing my life. So I'm just going to buy a planner and then put it over there and not touch it. Do the things so that you are organized. Create the time for you to be organized. If you have children and they get up early and you feel like you have no time during the day, get up earlier. And if you can't do that, like me, I do not like getting up early. Do it during nap time. Do the things that you want to do during nap time. Do the things that you want to do regardless of what may be going on. Because one, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot give someone something that you do not have or something that you are not giving yourself. At the end of the day, you need to think about who you want to remember yourself as being in this moment in time. Because what you remember yourself being will be what others remember you as being. For the longest time, I would think of myself as having my peak in high school because I had it going on. I was popular, I was a cheerleader, all the things. I was the president of different organizations and things like that. And it came to the point where I was like, I can't continue to live there because I am not there. I'm not there physically, so I cannot live there mentally. I get to create the Toria in the now of, I remember yesterday. I remember when I was 20. I remember when I'm 30. When I turned 30, I got to do this, and I was that. And it's really taking a good look at Okay, I'm here. Where do I want to be? Where am I going? What do I want my normal to look like? Because whatever we create or make our normal will become us. We become the things that we do, the things that we listen to, the people that we are around, the things that are our norm become us. It is simply a vibration of our cells becoming that which we do. If I work out, therefore I become fit. If I sew, I can become a seamstress, or I can make little things in our home. I can design dresses, maybe for my daughter's prom. The things that we spend time doing every single day, the routine that we create, we get good at it. There's a study that says that if you do something every day for 18 minutes, you become a master at it. You are 99% better at that thing, even if it's one thing, than the rest of the population because you have spent time mastering that. Your routine is what you are a master at. Your normal is what you are a master at. Are you happy with where you are, what your norm is? And if you are, that is beautiful. Now, my question is, can it be better? Can you make it better? And be delighted where you are, but also be delighted at where you're going, what it could be, how much more juicy it can get. Can it be better? Can it be its best? Can it make you twirl and melt 10 times over where you currently are and how you are twirling and melting in your current activities and duties and tasks? And if you aren't, what can you do to change your normal? What are the things that would lead you to getting to where you want to go, where your dreams and your fantasies and your desires take you? I love you. I'll see you later.